Lighting is one of the most important, if not the most important part of getting good renders out of Blender. What I mean by that is actually really simple to visualize. I have two renders here and I'll put them one after the other and then side by side. And I want you to take a good look at each of these renders individually, take a second to think about it, and then decide on which of these you like better. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that basically 100% of you guys who are watching this chose the second image. Why is that? Well, that's because the lighting makes the product look that much more interesting and just overall better looking. And that goes to show the power of lighting. This model here is actually really well made. It has a high, nice density. It has all the nice bevels going on. It's just a really well made model. So the model is not at fault here. However, if we only use that one single light up top, which I used for the original render, we only have one light source in this scene. And what this is doing, it's giving us very, very flat and boring lighting. In some scenarios, this can work, right? There are cases where just having one single area light can look quite pleasing to the eye. It's also very simple to sort of visualize what's going on. There's not a whole lot of input, but we're losing so much of these contours and shapes of this product here, for example. So, you know, these nice rounded mid beams here, you're losing shape there. There's not much contrast. There's no rim lighting. There's no edges being caught by light. You can't actually see that there are nice bevels going on. There's so much more that we could do to this product by just adding in more or better lighting. And if I now turn on the other lights one by one, you'll notice how much of a difference this starts making, right? So over here we have our scene. I'll just disable the overlays here. All right, we get some nice highlights on the side of the chair here. Another one sort of highlighting the top, which is now more clearly showing the grain and the texture of the material that we're using. It's also catching this rim thing here. So you're getting another nice edge lighting. Then we do another one that's just an overall fill light to brighten up some of the shadows in the image. Another one, which creates some sort of a gradient up top here. That's actually quite an important thing to do. You want your objects to have some sort of gradient going along its surfaces. So whenever you look at each of these panels, you'll have sort of a dark to light contrast or a light to dark gradient going across the object. Another one highlighting this leg here, highlighting some of the back there. Another one highlighting this leg. And there you have it. I mean, just by adding in a few more lights, which are intentionally placed to emphasize the shape of this object, it's starting to look so much better. And the cool thing is that we didn't change our model at all. It's still exactly the same model. But just by using better lighting, we can go from this to this. And that's why you need good lighting. Now, this is just a product example, but basically this goes for anything. You can use lighting to tell a story. So if you have a part of an image that needs emphasis, you want to point the light there. And that's because our eyes are naturally drawn towards light. That's just the way our minds are built ever since the day we're born. From that moment on, we like light, which I can tell you because we just had a baby and the only thing he likes doing is watching at things that are very, very bright. Light catches our attention. So you want to use light to your benefit to tell whatever story you want to tell. But yeah, lighting is such an incredibly powerful tool, which you need to learn to tell a story. This can be guiding the audience towards a certain part of your image. It can be highlighting certain parts which you think need more emphasis. It could be to change the focal point of where the audience needs to look. There's so much that you can do with using proper lighting, and that's what we're going to dive in a little deeper in this chapter by covering some of the main lighting examples that you can use to light up your projects or scenes or products. Overall, this chapter is focused at lighting as a concept, so I'm trying to teach you certain methods that you can use to achieve a look or better tell the story that you want to tell in your render. And so we'll dive in some of the main lighting methods available to us, which we've actually taken from real life inspiration, because basically all of the lighting that we know comes from like videography or photography. It's real world use cases that we are now applying in 3D because the principles are still exactly the same, although the methods might differ a little bit, and we get some additional powers in the form of like light linking and stuff like that. All right, so let's go over some of the main lighting methods that we can use inside of Blender to create amazing renders.